Okay, this is the video to get our type exercise done. First thing to do is to go and show you what the type tool can do. So I click here and I'm going to type in Civil War, and if my black arrow, I get the bounding box that shows up, and I click on this and I can stretch the word, and that's what happens as a result of just clicking and typing. Whereas if I click and I drag and I type in Civil War, notice the bounding box is sizably larger, and I can go in here and I can reconstitute the type based on the shape of the bounding box. This is more if you're going to be doing type fitting and columns. So that's one of the most elementary differences right there in terms of utilizing the type tool. The next thing we do on this exercise is we're going to create a Captain America shield. Option Shift, and then I'm going to go and grab my swatches, the red, no stroke, Command C, Command F, click and hold, Option Shift, drag it in. This will be white. Command C, Command F, Option Shift. To get fancy, I'm going to hit the letter I, which is the eyedropper tool, and sample the same red. Command C, Command F. Oops. By double clicking, I just got the isolation mode clicked in. Double click twice. Go back. I got the copy I needed right there, so click, hold it, Option Shift, drag this in, and this is going to be dark blue. I double clicked and brought up that swatches palette, or the CMYK measures. Here's my star tool, and like week 1, we're going to click and hold, Option Shift. I don't want a chubby star, I want sharp, crisp, pointy stars. And there's white. Arrow key it. Alright, if for some reason you got these kind of crooked and out of alignment like this, you can go and marquee select these, and when you do this, go to the black arrow, and right away up here you got your alignment tools. This one's going to align it horizontal and align center. And that's how I messed it up, so that's not a good example. So we'll do this. Align horizontal, and then this one is going to align vertically, and that's what I get right there. My bounding box is literally centered, so I understand that with this odd shape being the star, I'm going to have to go in here and manually arrow key it until it looks properly done, and that's fine. Now, in order to get type on the path, which is the main goal of this particular exercise, I'm going to hit Command C, Command F, click and hold, Option Shift, slightly enlarge this, paste on top is Command F, and I got type on a path tool, and these are the only 3 I'm concerning myself with this class. These 3 are the same exact thing, except that they do the type vertically like a motel. I'm not interested in that. You guys can experiment with that. These are the same tools as these, just a different kind of type indication. So right here, Civil War. And I'm going to change this font to say Futura. Medium. I can size this up to say 50, return. That's too big, 35, return. I'm liking that. And then I'll go to my black arrow. So as you can see, there's 2 lines here. Do not select these boxes because these boxes have everything to do with type linking, like you would see in InDesign, where you're going and linking this sentence to another sentence over here to continue a paragraph or something. So this, I'm grabbing it with the black arrow, grabbing the line, not the box, but the line. This represents the end of the sentence. Notice if I go and drag it too far, the red box shows up as in any kind of a type program that indicates there's more type to be seen, but it's too small, the length. This is the beginning. I'm going to grab this, and I'm also using the bounding box here to visually determine the spacing. Does it look right? Is it too far to the left, too far to the right? And this protrudes into the space, whereas this doesn't have as much of a protrusion in its basic shape. So I'm eyeballing this, and I think that looks pretty okay. Type tool, grabbing this, letter I or eyedropper tool, sampling that so that I maintain the principle of unity through this whole design. Okay, last part of this particular exercise, Command C, Command F, grabbing this, dragging it down below, and I'm going to go and type into this one, and I'm going to put Team Cap. Black arrow, grab the beginning of the sentence, gauge the negative space, and I think that's okay, but I don't want it to be upside down. I want it to be Team Cap. So this is the third option. This is a lever. You click and you drag it, and it's pretty squirrely. So I'm going to go and let go of it right in here, and then I can get the black arrow, and I can grab the end of the paragraph or sentence and move it around, and then I can grab this, try to center it, and at this point it's sitting on the baseline. Okay, I want it to be below the baseline. I want this now to become this sentence's cap line. No pun intended. Okay, Command T brings up my character palette. Notice that there's no baseline shift option here, so I need to show my options. There's my baseline shift. With a negative number, it's going to drop this sentence down below. So let's go and do that. And again, when you're talking about typesetting, always gauge by looking at the flat letter forms to determine when they're in contact with this, that's what you're looking for. 26.5. Okay, that's looking good right now. That's looking good right now. Pointy font like this one, you'll have a lot of the time the point protrude above, as will the curvature on the letter forms here. The C is going to pop up and over to compensate for the scale of flat letter forms like this being in contact with a baseline. They have a lot more space to occupy. Therefore, you protrude this above so that on a scale, if this were to just touch this, this would be smaller, and it would look significantly smaller from letter forms like E or F or T. Spotlight's rearing its ugly head, so when I quit key for zoom in or out, that will pop up. So once again, I have to go and disable Spotlight so that I can use my zoom in and zoom out quick keys. Okay, so Command Option Space, and I can click and I can get away. Space bar, hand tool. Clicking on this once again, looking at the negative space here and here, it's a little bit too close to the right, so I'll move it over, and I'm satisfied with that, but I'm not satisfied at the tracking. Look at the kern right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will negative measure on this tracking option to say 75, return, 100, return, and then black arrow again, and rotate this. And then once I get this, I'm going to go and grab the C and drag these in. So that means I'm going to have to go with, 0 first. And if I type in negative numbers, it's dragging it in. So I have to go further negative, 150. Okay, that looks decent. The A and the M are looking pretty messed up. Let's see if 150 will do the job again. Maybe 175. And that looks better. And once again, I'll grab this and center it up. And then that's going to be it for, that's going to be it for this part of the type exercise. Okay, lastly, type tool, Civil War. Look at how messed up that is. It's because of negative 175. I'll give it 0. And Option Shift, increase the scale, let go of the mouse, let go of the keys. Click on this and you can go to type and you can create outlines. And what this does is it turns the type into artwork. And at this point, now that it's artwork, I can't change the spelling anymore. If I ungroup it, Command Shift G, or Object Ungroup, it allows me to go in here and grab the A, and with my arrow keys, I can manually reposition these letter forms to get more of a readability and more equal distance spacing. Okay, going quickly to grab a Civil War image. and I'll look for an image that'll work for this particular assignment. Let's go with this one, quick and easy. Grab it, drag it, and drop it. Because this is for educational purposes, we're not selling this. This is okay to do. Option Shift, drag it down, right click, arrange, send it to the back. Size it up a little bit, Shift, and then Command Spacebar, zoom in. And now if I grab the letters and the image and I hit Command 7, that's the quick key for clipping mask. And so you can see that all the letters and the image dropped into the R. And the reason for that is what we've been covering a number of times this quarter, which is if you want multiple shapes to behave as a single shape, that's a compound path, which is located under Object, Compound Path, Make. And now if I go and I select all these multiple letters are going to act like a single window. Command 7, and there you have it. White arrow, if you want to show more of Captain America, you can drag him over. You can increase the size of this, but you have to select within the box or within the letter forms to be able to make the selection. Click in, move it around, okay? And then the last part of this will be click Option Shift, drag a copy, Object, Envelope Distort, Make with a warp. And you can go in and you can experiment with this. You can come up with different options. These are all prefab. This used to be a different program altogether that was purchased by Adobe and made as a part of Illustrator. Okay. Grabbing this one more time. This one, you're going to go Object, Envelope Distort, and you will make with top object. And I have to lock this one so that it doesn't get in the way of my new one. And let's see if this works now. Envelope Distort, make with a mesh. Let's go 2 and 2. So now what this does is it gives me gradient mesh information, and I can go in here and I can manually tweak my letter forms. Have fun with that one. And last, and certainly not least, I'm going to go and grab an oval like this. I'm going to grab this and drag it down. Make sure that this is on top, and hopefully this doesn't crash the computer. Object, Envelope Distort, make with the top object, and it'll conform to this elliptical shape. Command Z, I'm not satisfied with that. So I'm going to drag a copy and undo, Command Option 7. I'm going to undo the picture and put the picture over here and reduce the scale of it. Oh man, I gotta lock that background information too. Lock that selection. And grab this, and if I go to Object, Envelope Distort, make with the top object, it conforms to that shape. And that's that.